Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic, Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic, Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic, Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic, Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic, Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons.
Good evening, folks, and welcome inside the Keith Miller Arena as we get set for some Jr.B action here between the Brookfield Elks and the East Hants Penguins. 7:31 the local time as we get set here for puck drop. Alex Field will dig in for the Penguins as he'll face off against Will Stewart. We are underway as that puck goes back. He picked up and controlled there. Worked up the far side. Pierce gets turned over, worked back. Pierce picks it off. Headman for Field, and he gets bumped there over on the far wall. Turning out of the corner there was Callum Munn as that puck worked up the half wall. Turned over, slot shot there. That's blocked into the corner. Puck worked back. O'Connor now in the neutral zone. He'll work it D-to-D. Pierce dumps it all the way in. Cole Eklund out to play it. Munn will rim it around. Eklund getting the start here for the Elk. As that's dumped in, going back to retrieve that Munn. Munn reverse play. Picked up there, worked over the far side. King drop pass there. Munn will work it into the neutral zone. Munn gets center, dumps it, and he'll peel off for a change. Starting for your Penguins, 200 feet from Eklund's number 1, Payson Stewart. He'll get the start here in this Friday night's game as that's puck rimmed around off the wall. Curtin for Stewart. Stewart dumping it in. He'll give chase now. The Penguins look to establish a forecheck. Going back in his own zone there was Duncan. Duncan loses it in behind his own net. Picked up, worked out into the neutral zone here. Good job to control that was Croft. Croft kicks it wide, looking drive the net. Shot there, pad save, held on for a whistle. Face-off's going to be to the blocker hand side here of goaltender. High off the glass, worked back to the point, held in to the slot there, left, drop pass there, worked into the neutral zone, turned over right outside the line, worked back in over the line. McElrin shot there, blocked on the way through. I didn't make it all the way to the net, is down low. Stepping in from the point, working it down the wall. That's Morrison. She'll battle down there in the end. Wall, O'Connor will pick it up, work it to the wall. So that'll be picked up and worked now through the neutral zone. Trying to cut to the net. Trying to split through is Nick Morin. Now O'Connor at the point. O'Connor will move around one. He'll cut to the middle. Here's a shot from O'Connor. Glove save, held on Eklund. Morin's in there to pull Briel out as face-off's going to go to the glove hand side of Eklund. Good job there by O'Connor, stepping in from the point. Making a nice move around one. Hansen will dig in. Puck one back. Good job to win that puck, Croft. That's work D-to-D, and Curry will get it on the half wall. Curry up the wall, too far ahead. D-to-D pass. Hansen picks it up. Works to the wall, picked up there, and Stanford. Sanford will work it in, pressure Munn. Sanford first to the puck. Munn's going to try to poke it up the wall as Curry. Too far for him. Kept in. Palace trying to hold the line. So that's worked out now as Lawson got it chipped around him. Worked in. Here's a chance for the Elk back the other way as that's worked over the line by Brady Croft. Puck back to the point. Down the wall. Shot there. Blocked on the way through. Didn't make it all the way as Pierce laying his body on the line here in the first period. Hansen will pick up. Look for speed. Dish it wide onto his backhand. Getting center and dumping it in. Peeling right off for a change. Full line change here for the Penguins as it's picked up. It's going to wheel out. Duncan down the far wing. Over the blue line. On his backhand centering shot there. Knocked away. Puck worked over. Sent right back in. Duncan holds the line on the far side. Towards the net. Off the side of the post. As Stewart will pick it up now. Stewart will cycle. Gload back to the point. Into the feet. D-to-D pass. Duncan will get it on the far side as Casey finishes check. Centering pass worked out. Edos into the neutral zone. Nicky Dos looking for the trailer. Here's a field backdoor pass looking for Casey driving the net. Is a nice tic-tac-toe play there by the Penguins. Another big save by Cole Eklund here early on. That was a nice touch pass there by Alex Field. Quick release by Casey and big save by Eklund. Face off to his blocker side now. Nicholson loses that draw. It's sent all the way down. It's going to go past the glove or blocker side of Stewart, and that'll be a face-off back in the offensive zone for the Penguins. Choose the far side this time as Nicholson will dig in once again against Will Stewart. Both on their backhand sides here. Puck battled for in the feet, picked up King. He'll wheel it behind his own net. Chipping it off the glass up into the neutral zone. Stewart cutting back. He gets run into the wall on a forechecking there by Stewart. Curtin will come back, lay the body. Nicholson will pick it up, far corner. Leave it there for Stewart. Far pass into the close side. Curtin's going to dump it in. Avoid the check there as Eklund will play it up the wall over on the far side for Stewart. Picked up here in the slot. Trying to get that shot away. Diab pokes it. O'Connor back for Diab. Distance shot off the glass on blocker side and wide. As Curtin trying to feed it out front. Bouncing puck. Diab shot into the chest. Right into the Elks logo. Goaltender Cole Eklund as he holds on for a whistle once again. Face-off going to be to his blocker side this time. As Morin, Briel, and McCollum Stokes will hop over the bench up front for the Penguins in an offensive zone draw. O'Connor at the point with Pierce. Puck one back, far side, not in the right direction as Pierce was backing off. Puck mishandled in the neutral zone. Working to the wall. McCollum Stokes over the line. McCollum Stokes, nice drop pass there. Here's a chance, shot there. Blocker save. It's a great opportunity for Morin. As that's now into the neutral zone. O'Connor, D-to-D for Pierce as he dumps it in. Cross corner dump there by Pierce. Up the wall. Morin under his skate. Now McClellan centering. Picked up with his glove there. Worked ahead. Here's McClellan on a drop pass. McClellan can't get the shot away. O'Connor takes a bump in the corner. Works around Pierce. Chipping it into the neutral zone. Trying to touch it across here for Brill. Can't touch enough of it as it's worked to the far side. Up over the line, Morrison. Dumping it in the corner as him and Pierce will battle for it now. Pierce to it first. He'll cut up the middle. Got to be careful as McClellan off the bench. Puck battle in the corner. O'Connor trying to chip a pass out. That's picked off and a chance there for the Elk. Trying to tie it up here. Trying to get the opening goal as King overskates the puck, and here's a 2-on-1. Sanford and Morin. Drop pass. Here's Morin. Shot. Pad save by Eklund. Stewart in the neutral zone. Cross ice pass. Centering. Picked off and worked back. The Elks defenseman will dump it in. Going to get a roster check there on the number for you. Face-off's going to be to the blocker side of Pace and Stewart. Hansen will dig in. Face-off one, Croft shot there, one back to the point. King works it down the wall. Shot there from distance, high and wide. All the way back into the neutral zone. Working it all the way into his own zone. Stanford will pressure. Curry on the wall, can't control as it's worked back. Lawson. Isaac Lawson will retreat behind his own net. Reverse play there for Bryce Stewart. Can't connect as Curry on the forecheck. Stewart and Curry will battle. Chipping it up the wall. Trying to work it to the middle with Sanford. Now back. Going to control far side Munn. Nice move around Thomas Ponapallis as it's worked up into the neutral zone. Over the line. Curry gets it knocked off his stuff. Picked up by the trailer. That was Croft. Face off there. It's going to stay inside. As Stewart. His net popped off. Brill trying to win it back. Picked up there. Casey will work it into the neutral zone. Casey over the line with speed. Casey shot high and wide. Just up over the blocker. Back into the neutral zone. Fanning on the pass there. Picked up. Worked over. Stewart in over the line. Holding the line on the far side. Morrison sends it down low. Looking for an option. Gload. Stewart on the far wall. Picking it up. Now up top. Over top, he'll work it down. Back for Munn. At the point, Munn, nice move around one. He'll dump it off. Edos gives him an extra shot, and as Nick Edos will pick the puck up. Cross center, dump it in and get on the forecheck. Eklund out to play it. He'll forehand it around. It took a weird bounce now. Here's a chance turned over. Big hit on the far side. Finishing his check was Morrison. On field. Shot there. That's off the mark into the wall. Gload. And Field will battle. Field into his feet. Kicks it up. Field going to get pressured from behind. He'll dump it in as he hits center. There's a little bit of a mix-up here in front of the bench as Casey giving a shot there to Gload. It's Pierce sending it up. Picking it up in the neutral zone. Here's Nicholson. Nicholson over the line. He'll drive wide on his forehand. Cutting back now onto his backhand. Working it back to the point. Pierce, who started that play off in the D zone, dumping it back in. Diablo pressure off of the stanchion, picked up, back through his legs. Nicholson's shot high on the short side. Curtin now. Brady Curtin dumping it down low as he was pressured there. Lots of pressure from Kill. McVicker as it's dumped in. Stewart backhands to Pierce. Pierce will take a bump in the corner as he worked it over to the far side. Now Curtin works it over the line on his forehand. Curtin shot there, glove save as he snagged that out of the air for a whistle. Face-off's going to go to his blocker side. That puck ended up working out of the line. McCollum Stokes works it to the wall as Morin will work it over the line. Now Morin on his backhand. Trying to drop it off. Doesn't connect and turned over. Far side pass out of the reach. Picked off. Working it back into his own zone. Vanderberg. That's Daniel Vanderberg. Chip play. Here's Morin crossing over the blue line. Morin. Drop pass there, trying to connect with Brill. It's out of his reach and behind him. Dumped back in Vanderberg. Eklund will come out and play it. Leaving that puck there, working it up the wall. Into the neutral zone, dumping it in was McElwain. O'Connor, nice move there, around one. Centers off the skate and King will have to go back. King working it up the wall. Hansen picks it off. Jason Hansen works it too quickly offside, and a little bit of extracurriculars down here. The corners. Hansen took an extra shot. Nothing too serious. 9:22 remaining here in the first period. That was McClellan giving Hansen an extra shot. Dumped in there by O'Connor. Far side, Ponapallis. Work back. Here's Hansen. Saucing that puck to O'Connor. Toe drag shot off a stick up into the mesh. And out of play. 9:07 remaining here on the opening period clock as the face-off's going to stay inside, is off the stick of the Elk defender. The linesman blows it down. They'll do it again. Hansen on the offensive zone draw, trying to win it back. Ponapallis pushing it forward. Duncan will pick it up. Off the glass into the neutral zone. As Croft will pick it up. Croft trying to work it around O'Connor. O'Connor, escape move. Another nice move. Dishing it off. Ponapallis up ahead for Sanford. Sanford over the blue line looking for an option. Sanford finds a trailing O'Connor. O'Connor's shot blocked on the way through. King tries to clear. Picked up. Pierce shot. That's wide. Sanford. Half wall. Towards the net. Off the stick and behind Ponapallis. Hansen centers. They'll battle for it now. Hansen on the half wall. Looking to try to break the scoring open here as he gets it back down low. Hansen looking over his options. Pierce down and off. Here's a chance in front, looking for the rebound. Sanford couldn't find it. He got all spun around in front of the net. Is down and behind, centering. Will be worked up. Curry on the half wall. Chipping it off of the body, and Croft will go back. Field will pressure. Picked up here, Pierce. For Field, centers, back door, one chance, two chance. Eklund closing the door on Casey, back door. What a chance there for Chris Casey, as he had two backdoor opportunities and kicking them both away. Cole Eklund, the fantastic start to this game. Shots 8-3 in favor of the Penguins. And Eklund's been up for the task here so far. Field will dig in, offensive zone draw. Off the stick on the way down, and they'll redo it. 7:52 remaining in the opening frame. Face off the blocker hand side of Cole Eklund after he made two unbelievable backdoor saves as the puck will battle. Here's a chance at Ito's shot there off the stick of King and in behind the net. Munn will pick it up. Reversing to himself. Left there. Stewart working it wide. Gload over the line. He'll dump it in, and that'll be rimmed around to the far side. Pressuring it there. Ben Stewart. Taken down by Casey, and a big hit there. Gload stepping up. Or sorry, that was Will Stewart. Now here's a 2-on-1. Here's Casey. Stewart, Casey, Ito's shot, scores as Chris Casey pops the bottle under the corner. Short side, and a nice passing play there between him and Bryce Stewart. And Chris Casey breaks the scoring open here in the first period, and a 1-0 lead for the East Hants Penguins. 7:19 remaining in the period, and a give-and-go goal from Casey. Nice passing play there with Stewart. Bryce Stewart stepping up from his point. Face off, push forward, and work back. Having to retreat that. I'll go D to D. That's Lawson into the, almost lost it there was Stewart. After a nice play, Curtin works it to the far side. Over the line. Centering, here's Nicholson. Getting a stick on it, just dribbling in on net. Held on for a whistle there by Cole Eklund once again. So Stewart definitely getting an assist on the last goal. We'll see if there's a secondary assist as well, as it was worked up the wall. Now sent down by Pierce off the end wall, held on for a whistle once again. 6:52 remaining now on the clock. Face off going to go to the glove hand side as a bounce off the end wall, and Eklund reached out and held on. Trying to slow the game down here as the Penguins trying to push the pace. Nicholson trying to push it forward, back. Pierce gloves it down, sends it in. Munn into his feet. Pressured. Sent out. Pierce will step up. That'll make sure the icing's off. Vandenberg. Far stretch pass. Chipped on there. Duncan turns it over. Here's Curtin over the line. That puck chipped back into the neutral zone. Curtin back for his D-man Vandenberg. Cross ice pass. Pierce up the wall. Touched in by Diab. Nicholson pressuring there. Good job by Duncan. But Diab will send it down low. Brady Curtin. Turnover. Here's Nicholson. Back for Curtin. Shot there. Blocker save into the corner. Chip play out. Vandenberg steps up. Turns it over though. Here's a 2-on-1 chance here. Shot into the chest of Payson Stewart. He'll hold on for a whistle as Stewart seeing his fourth shot of the game. Shots now 11-4 in favor of the Penguins. 5:56 remaining on the clock here. Offensive zone draw for the Elk. Puck one back, trying to get a shot away, but Brill will block it, poke it ahead. As Moran will pressure King. King just getting it away out of harm's way as McClellan coming in now. Stewart off the point, sending it down low. McCullum Stokes into the corner. McCallum Stokes move around one. Back for the point. Here's Stewart. Has an assist on the opening goal. Stewart works it in. Trying to get a shot away. Hit there by Munn and loses control. Into the neutral zone. McCullum Stokes sends it right back in. Munn will go in behind his net. Pick it up. Wheel. Munn. Chip play for himself. Stewart will step up. Too far to the reach of Morin. Is Eklund out to play it. Working it up. Off the stick of O'Connor. Lawson will pick it up. Up for O'Connor. McCullum Stokes on the far side. Chipping it out. Here's Croft. Brady Croft trying to split through everyone. Croft shot, pad save. O'Connor chipping it up the wall. Morin touching it there for McCullum Stokes as he works in on his backhand. McCullum Stokes takes a tumble. Centering here, picked off Stanford. Sanford's shot just wide, glove side. Blocker save, rebound loose in front, and a big pad save there on the blocker side by Cole Eklund. Lawson chipping it back ahead. Moran gonna finish his check, worked ahead over the line. Dishing it down low. Here's Curry. Backhand chance. Curry. As I'm yet to see the puck as it's over on the far side, so sliding out wide in the net. Off its bearings. Payson Stewart. So face off to his blocker side. Is a dangerous chance there for Bryson Curry to tie the game up here. 4:21 remaining in the first period. Pierce sets up, goes over his options, off the skate of Curry as Stewart works it back. Pierce up the wall, touch pass there through the middle. Sanford can't get to it as Duncan will step up. Nice move around one, but gets a bump there upon Apollos. Bump him off the puck as that's worked up ahead. Pierce will pressure. Curry off the glass into the neutral zone. Stewart stepping up, had to be careful. He was the last man back. Chipping it up ahead. Here's Stanford. Sanford, cross ice pass. Bonapalis across the line. He'll go in on his forehand, drop the shoulder. In behind the net as he drives down low. Shot there, Hansen. Rebound loose in front, held on to as the paddle of Eklund reaches out and brings it back in to his glove and face off to the blocker hand side. Hansen on the offensive zone draw. Hansen trying to win it back. Good job there by Stewart. Munn turns it over as here's a Penalty coming up now here as the Penguins will head to a power play. As it looks like Munn will get called for hooking as he turned the puck over and he heads off to the box. Callum Munn, 2 for hooking and a power play here. 3:27 remaining in the first period. Hansen will choose to have the draw on his backhand side. Casey, Nicholson, Diab, and O'Connor. Nicholson for O'Connor, far side. O'Connor dishing it back off. Hansen touch play there, doesn't connect. O'Connor spinning away from Stewart. O'Connor dropping it off. Hansen down low. Hansen backdoor pass here. Diab couldn't let it go. He rimmed around. Hansen will work it back to the point. Here's Casey. He's got the opening goal. Diab looking over an option, centering. Nice stick there. Get it nice and flat. Take away the pass to the middle as that's sent down the full length of the ice by the Elks. Casey will pick it up with speed. Chris Casey dishing it off. Nicholson gets center, takes a bump from Stewart as it's dumped into the corner. Casey will get it back for Diab now. Chris Casey on the half wall. Give and go with Hansen. O'Connor at the top for Diab. Casey back, kicking it away. There was Nicholson. Chris Casey back for Nicholson. Shot there. O'Connor loose in front. Hansen can't get a stick on it. As King trying to pin it off and kill as much time. 40 seconds now remaining on the Penguins power play. Casey hit there as Hansen turns it over, worked back into the neutral zone. Stewart dumping it right in on net, having trouble with that as it's blockered away as Stewart will pressure Diab. Finley Diab for O'Connor. Jake O'Connor went to pass it, fanned on it, and worked it out anyways as Brady Curtin now over the line. Sanford works it wide. Morin, far side. He's a little battle there with Ben Pohl. As here's a chance in the no-look pass from Curtin as it's worked back into the neutral zone. Here's a chance back. Duncan. Shot wide, and we're back to full strength. Here is Curtin overskates the puck now. Here's a chance down low. Shot there. Pad save, and that's netted home on a rebound. And right after they kill off the penalty, the Elks tie this game up here at 1 late in the first period. So that'll be David McElrin burying home the trash. Cleaning up the garbage in front, and we're tied up here at 1. In East Hants, live on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in, folks. As minute 16 remaining here in the opening period. Stewart dumping it in. So we'll wait for the official call on the Elks goal, but for now, we do know it was David McElrin for the goal. As Pohl will get the assist. So Ben Pohl getting an apple there. So he must have been the one to release the puck, and a rebound opportunity off the pad of Payson Stewart. Now here's a chance for Morin as Munn will pick it up. They killed the penalty off for Munn. Now turned over Nicholson in the high slot opportunity. Nicholson toe drag, shot pad save. Great job there. Nicholson right off the bench and right into the action. As 10 seconds now here remaining in the opening period. Puck back into the neutral zone. Morin. He'll leave it for Eidos. Eidos will work at D2D as King up the wall. Gload dumping it in at the horn, and that'll do it here for the first period. Thanks for tuning in to the opening period of the Elks versus the East Hants Penguins here live on High Button Sports. Will be back for a second period of action after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back here for our second period of action between the Penguins and the Elk. Second period underway, live from the Keith Miller Arena here in East Hants. A shot there, blocked on the way through as King shaking his hand, a little shaken up after that. Goes down right on net of Stewart. He'll hold on for a whistle. As Munn will head off to the bench. He wore that maybe in the wrist or forearm area. So he drops his glove and a little sore and shaken up here just below us. As Munn blocked that opening chance there for the Penguins. As they'll push the wingers back on the far side. That's Gload and O'Connor. Stewart will dig in against Field. Puck one back, shot there from distance, didn't make it all the way through. Casey picks it up, chips it out. King in the neutral zone, cutting back. Stewart will pick it up, make a move around Eidos. Casey gonna run him out of room and take out Stewart on the far side. That was Ben Stewart. Sitzberg back into the neutral zone, working it in. Here's Casey. Here's a chance. Casey, short side shot and up over the glove hand, and Casey with his second beautiful upstairs shot of the night. And he buries home his second goal of the game as Chris Casey makes no mistake in with a slight advantage past the defenseman, and forehand shot up over the glove of Eklund, and he almost popped the water bottle once again as Chris Casey with a beautiful top shelf goal here, and he gives the Penguins a 2-1 lead early in the second period, under a minute into the second period. As that puck will go back as the Penguins looking to get right back in on the attack here, as that's Nicholson. Drop pass, Diab, shot there right into the chest, rebound. So that kicked far off the chest of goaltender Cole Eklund. It's worked in, shot there, pad save. Diab kicks it to himself and works to Nicholson. Croft cutting back, trying to hit the trailer, picked off Curtin in the neutral zone. So Cassie from Field give them a 2-0 lead. Puck worked in. Diab, nice centering pass. Curtin trying to find the back door. As maybe could have let that one go, as he had a great opportunity, as Bryce Stewart will pick it up in his own zone now. Stewart fakes a drop pass, loses control of the puck, gets it back as it's worked to the wall, or to the middle, off the skate of Diab down the length. That'll go all the way for icing. Penguins not going to be able to change here, as Curtin, Nicholson, and Diab on a D-zone draw here is Vandenberg. Out on D as well with Bryce Stewart. A little bit of a different setup here. Puck snapped to the wall. Stewart's going to battle. Shot there from a weird angle. Kicked away. Trying to net his second of the game was David McElrin. So he looks to tie it up. Centers. Duncan gonna cut. Missed pass there, so that's picked up. Curtin through the middle. Morin now over the blue line. Morin out wide for Nicholson. Picked up. McClellan chips it up ahead, worked over Pole, trying to work it in as McClellan now dumps it down. Stretch pass there. Nice job by Vandenberg. Morin over the line, trying to work it down low. Here's Brill out of the corner, into the feet, and turned up the far side wall. I believe was Brody Ellis. That's chipped up. McCollum Stokes off the wall, picked up, chipped out into the neutral zone, and controlled on the far side. McClellan dumping it high off the glass and up and touching the netting. It took a weird bounce off the glass and out of play. So with 16:54 remaining, as Noah Camo enters the game. A little bit of a late addition, as didn't see him in warm-up or throughout the first period. A smooth skating defenseman, the captain for the Penguins, as McCollum Stokes will head off and Hansen will dig in. He works it back. O'Connor looking over an option. Back pass there, doesn't connect. Sanford on the back check. Centering through the neutral zone, picked up. McClellan over the line. Shot there high, past the head of the official, and holding the line is Munn. Good job there, stepping up. Callum Munn. Here's a chance, centered, picked up. Hansen working it back into the neutral zone, kicking that wide. Ponopoulos trying to chip it in, he'll pressure. Chipping it into the neutral zone, O'Connor will collect. Keep it in over the offensive zone. Here's a chance, O'Connor leaves it there. Hansen tries to center off a skate. Now Camo's going to take a 3-on-1, coming back the other way. Good back check there by Ponopoulos. Is Camo, first shift back out. Here's a chance off the post. Is Camo right into the action, having to face a 3-on-1 now. Back the other way. Sanford looking for his trailer. Too far away from Hansen, over to the far side. Here's Stewart. Ponopoulos and Stewart. Nice collision there. As that's worked in. Here's Stewart. Hasbro going with him. That'll be Will Stewart now will pick it up. From Ben, worked over to the wall. Working it in. Morrison gets pressured by Bryce Stewart. All three Stewarts on the... All four. There's 4 Stewarts between the two teams. There's an upcoming delayed penalty here. As that goes off the skate of Cassie. Picked up. Duncan works it wide. Glowad. Extra attacker coming here as that's touched up by the Penguins. As Cassie is going to get his name on the score sheet once again. This time in the penalty category as he takes a 2-minute for a tripping call as the faceoff's going to stay inside of the Penguins zone. Power play here for the Elk as they look to tie it up. 15-14 remaining. Face off, one back. Duncan works it wide. Looking over an option was Curry. Here's a shot tipped. That's deflected away, sent down. Good job there by Moran to get it all the way down. Eklund will stop out. Leave it for Duncan. Duncan's going to work it up for Curry. Kind of cut, lose it. There's Moran down the wall and his forehand cuts back. Moran down. Ito's back for Moran. Moran can't get the shot away as it's poked off his stick by Duncan. Croft up for Duncan. He'll pick it up and work it in now. On his forehand, cutting back up the wall. Back for Curry at the point. Curry boxing himself in the corner, turns it over on a sauce pass. Here's Moran and Itos. Nick Itos going to drive the net. Nick Moran, backdoor pass. Good stick there is getting enough on the puck on the cross ice pass to bobble it into the corner. Was Duncan as that's sent down the full length. Good job here by the Penguins, not allowing the Elk to get set up. 14 minutes now remaining here in the second period. 42 seconds remaining on the power play. Worked over Munn. Over the line, dumping it back here for Stewart. Back once again, McClellan, D to D. McElrin shot, pad save, rebound loose, off the body in front, clearing attempt, doesn't make it out. Shot there, blocked by Isaac Lawson. McElrin, far side, shot there, pad save, McElrin blocker. Shot there, worked off the body of O'Connor. As here's a chance, McElrin back to the point. McClellan, shot, rebound, held on to Stewart. And there's going to be some extra quicker as Stewart's going to get in there. Diab going to mix up with McClellan a little bit. As the Elk banging and crashing. 2 seconds remaining on the power play here. 13-15 remaining in the period. Face off. Going to go to the blocker hand side of Pace and Stewart. Good crowd on hand here this evening, folks, on a Friday night game here in East Hants, live on High Button Sports from the Keith Miller Arena. Second period of action. Almost halfway through the game is the power play done for the Elk. Up the wall, Cassie kicks it. Hansen over the line. Hansen's going to work it down, going to put it through the triangle. Centering pass, back door, what a pass there. Jason Hansen on a beautiful feed, and Chris Cassie has the hat trick here to put the Penguins up 3-1 in the second period on a beautiful no-look pass from Jason Hansen. Eyes in the back of his head, feeding it all the way back door from in behind the net to Chris Cassie, and Hansen with a beautiful setup there to give Cassie his hat-trick goal, and a face-off back to center ice. McCullum Stokes. As it's worked back, King will go D to D. Nice move around one, as that'll be worked into the neutral zone by Ellis. Dishing it off, dumped in. Camo's going to have to go back, chipping it around one. Not enough to get it out, though, as it's sent all the way back in. Far side, Curry. Down low, so killing off the power play, the penalty, and scoring shortly after seems to be a theme, as it's happened twice in this game now. As here's a chance, centering pass through the crease and out. Here's Morin. Crossing the blue line, Morin trying to cut to the middle. McCullum Stokes picking it up. Curry's going to pressure him and dish it off. Big hit there as Camo gets into the action physically. So Camo's going to get right into the game as he adds an assist on that goal as well. Good chance in front there. Anthony Pitts right off the bench. That's flipped high. Will that have enough for icing? No, King gets a stick on it. Center picked up, worked in over the line. Going to cut to the middle through the feet of Stanford, and he'll pick it off. A good attempt there by Felix Smith, but couldn't get it through the feet of Sanford. His far side now worked. Theo Ponopoulos across the line. Ponopoulos, nice move to Hansen. Backhand shot off the mask of Eklund. Here's a chance. Hansen shot there wide. Past the glove. Ponopoulos cycling it down low. Picked off by King. And worked up the wall. Back into the neutral zone as that's picked up. Pitts on net. Glove save. Dropped it, but Oil pull it back in with his stick and hold on for a whistle. 10:57 now here remaining in the second period. Thank you for tuning in here live to High Button Sports, production of the Nova Scotia Junior Hockey League, as the East Hants Penguins host the Elk. 3-1 lead for the Penguins here in the second period. Stewart down the wall, pressured by Nicholson, moving it for Stewart. That'll be Will Stewart cycling it back. Here's Ben Stewart now on the wall. Shot there, blocked on the way. Good job by Vandenberg. Centering pass, shot there. Glowak couldn't get enough on it to get it effective as it rolled in, and Stewart held on. Job there by Pace and Stewart on a close opportunity, net front, and he'll hold on to a whistle. Looks like it's going to be to his blocker side. No, glove side, so the glove hand side of Pace and Stewart. McElrin digging in. One back by Field. To the point. trying to work it down the wall. Cassie works it out now. Eidos over the blue line. And Nick Eidos down low. Cassie and Eidos gonna pressure. Trying to work it out. Josh Morrison back to the point. Lawson, D-to-D. Vandenberg, Lawson's shot blocked, finds its way through. Here's a chance. Good job to get his stick on it and make sure it didn't find its way on net. Big hit there. Morrison is Oz. Eidos finished his check as Morrison will return the favor on field as it's worked back. Lawson at the point. D-to-D. Vandenberg, shot, sent wide past the glove and back all the way out into the neutral zone. Trying to chip it up the wall as he's pressure. It must have hit a glove, and the face-off's going to stay just in front. A little bit of extra stuff here between Morrison and Eidos as they exchanged some words and shots. So you can tell that might have been boiling over from down in the corner. As 5-on-5, I believe, or 4-on-4 is it going to be? 5-on-5, they say, so a 2-minute offsetting, roughing penalties maybe for the two in the box, as I didn't quite see it as I was turned the other way as it happened quick behind the play. As Ellis is pressured, McCullum Stokes turns it over. Here's McCullum Stokes back for Camo. Camo making an impact immediately here in this game, missing the first period, but back, so we just couldn't get here in time. Friday evening, maybe had classes. Let's work back into the neutral zone. O'Connor over the line. O'Connor backhand pass here looking for Morin. Just couldn't get his shot away as it was a great pass. Here's a chance off the skate of Morin. Down low, off a wall, and I'll go back. For a whistle and a face-off, going to go to the glove hand side of Cole Eklund. Jason Hansen will dig in. Offensive zone draw for Hansen onto his forehand. Works to the wall. Sanford will battle. Trying to cut across the ringette line. Hansen dishing it out front. Turned over. Here's a chance. Hansen couldn't get a hard enough shot away as it trickled in on to Eklund. So 2 minutes each for unsportsmanlike conduct. Not a rough, so 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike each, and Hansen will dig in here once again. On his forehand, Jason Hansen loses that one though as King will work at D-to-D. Stretch pass too far out of the reach there of McClellan and Camo as McClellan beat Camo back. As Ponapalus works it up, kicks it into the neutral zone. Sanford dumps it in. Eklund forehand rimming it around to the point. Stewart holds it in. Stewart's got an assist in the game so far on a great give-and-go play between him and Chris Cassie to open the scoring up in the first period. That was the first of 3 for Cassie so far as Stewart picks it up. Stewart for Ponapalus. Too hard for him. No out of knife for icing as it's turned over. Hansen will pick it up. Nice move around one. King, though, turns it over. King cutting back into his own corner, rimming it around the wall for Ben Stewart. Stewart working it back for King. The Penguins will do a full forward change as Diab, Nicholson, and Curtin hop over. King gonna hit center and dump it in. Pace and Stewart out for Pierce. Curtin touches it. Nicholson touches it back for Curtin, and they work it into the neutral zone. 3-on-2. Curtin kicks it for Nicholson. Nicholson finds a trailer. Diab trying to get a one-timer shot away as he let that go on a forehand one-timer chances. That's worked over here as Ben Stewart once again. The speed of Ben Stewart's going to work it in. He'll get bumped by Pierce. Control the puck, though, still on the far side. Barely poked off his stick. Gloade down the corner now. Gloade centering pass, picked up in the slot. Diab, 3-on-2 once again here. Diab will cross the line. Nicholson's going to drive. Diab, one-hand pass. Nicholson alone in front. Can't let go of the trigger, and he gets run over by Stewart. And Diab, and they're going to mix it up. As Stewart, Diab, Nicholson. As Lawson gets in there. Curtin gets held up on the far side. Nicholson enraged, and Diab letting Stewart have it. As Diab will head off to the bench. And a late hit as Will Stewart finished his check, and Diab took exception, turning around and giving him the business, as they'll have some words, I'm sure, over in the bench. And in the penalty box is Nicholson's going to head off as well. So we'll see if there's any other ones. But for now, Stewart will go for the Elk, and as of right now, Nicholson standing at the door, Diab in the bench. I wouldn't classify that as a fight. I'd just say a couple of roughing penalties here. Nicholson's going to get the extra. So I believe it'll be the extra for Nicholson for jumping in, giving the cross check. So 2 roughing maybe and a cross check. So I believe the Elk will get the man advantage here to as the officials talk it over on the far side. Still trying to figure it out. As we have a time for a stoppage, ALCS update for you if you are a Toronto Blue Jay fan. They have just tied it up in the top of the 5th inning. Runner on second, 2 outs. And a 1-1 ball game as they chase the starting pitcher, and the closer for the Mariners on the mount already for them in the 5th inning. As a quick chat here, as it looks like Nicholson will get sent off. So I'll wait to hear the official announcement, but Nicholson sent to the room. Maybe he got the 10, but an explanation now going on to the head coach for the Penguins. So we'll wait on the official call from the penalty box. But as of now, Nicholson sent to the room potentially for a shower. A 5-minute penalty up on the board now. As we'll wait to hear the official announcement. Now he'll explain it to the Elks coach. So a 5-minute penalty up on the board and a 2-minute penalty up on the board. So I wonder if maybe it'll be 4 on 4 for 2 minutes. And then I can read the lips here, 5 on 4 or 4 on 4 for 2 minutes. And then for the last 3 minutes of the 5-minute penalty, the Elk will be on a abbreviated 5-minute penalty for 3 minutes. So it's not really an abbreviated penalty. It's actually an extended 2-minute power play, but the extra 2 for the Elks ended up costing them. As Cale McVicker will serve the extra 2. Can't see quite who's serving for the, maybe Brill for the Penguins. Is 4 on 4 action here from the Keith Miller Arena in East Hants. Shot there, glove save, held on to easy by Cole Eklund. Clock ran for an extra few seconds there. He's going to hold the clock for 5 seconds. Puck one, chipped back in by Lawson. As Cassie's going to pressure on the far side. You see Elk going to set up. Working that behind Cassie and up the far side, working in and over the line. Here's Duncan. Losing control, now down low. Here's a chance. Too far, and here's a chance. Cassie and Field back to the neutral zone. Chris Cassie. Backdoor pass, big pad save though. Kicking the pad out, making sure that didn't get across was Cole Eklund. Out far above his crease is Cassie. Picking it up. Driving down low. Cassie shot there and he pops the bottle once again. Cassie with his 4th goal. As Chris Cassie lights the lamp once again in a 4-on-4 goal here. As Cassie lights the lamp and his 4th of the game. Chris Cassie having himself a Friday night in East Hants. As Chris Cassie's gone upstairs 4 times now. And he has all 4 goals here for the Penguins as they lead 4-1. Here in the second period, 4-on-4 action continues. Trying to respond, the Elks. Trying to work it in, trying to get something going. Camo's going to kick it wide. Curtin picks it up, works it up to himself. Curtin going to stop up, dump it in. Camo going to forecheck. Munn. And Camo going to battle on the end wall. King's going to get in there to help out. Camo's going to have to skate back now. Centering off the shin pad of Camo. Hansen picks it up now. Jason Hansen, backhand pass, doesn't have enough pepper on it as it's picked up. King. Curtin going to finish his check there. Just missed King as he dumps it in and gets on the chase. King cutting back in the corner. They're looking over an option. That's Mitchell King back to the point, dumping it back for them. McClellan all the way around. Here's Munn. Going to walk the line. D to D just under the stick now. Here's a chance. McClellan shot. That's wide. Stewart sidesteps a hit there. Was O'Connor off his defense pairing skate there. Was Camo's going to lay down, block the pass there, kick it up. Curry intercepts it. Hansen's going to have to get back as Moran. Hansen out there now. Frustration starting to build up for the Elk as they look to get something going. Duncan works it back for Curry. Backhand pass here. McClellan can't get it off, and a power play here for the Elk starts. So a 3-minute power play here for the Elk on an abbreviated 5-minute penalty coming to Nicholson. That'll be a loss for the Penguins. As here's a chance off the half wall. McElrain backdoor pass doesn't connect as Curry was driving. McClellan back down low, now back to the point. Duncan will walk it. Dish it off to the far side. McElrain shot, scores! McElrain netting his 2nd home, and it's a 4-2 game now here in the second period on a power play goal. 2:03 remaining on the power play as they'll continue that power play for another 2 minutes and 3 seconds on a 5-minute penalty. The time does not go off. Now McClellan going through the line first, so maybe he got a stick on it. We'll wait for the official announcement, but David McElrain for sure has his 2nd point of this evening. Face off back. Power play continues. Dump down. Not hard. Trying to kill off as much time on the dump there as McCullum Stokes will pressure. Work through the far side. Down the wall, Croft in behind. Loses it as Pierce dumps it all the way down. Minute 40 remaining here on the power play for the Elk. Duncan to McElrain. McElrain through the neutral zone. He'll dump it around, rimming it around to the far side for Croft. Back down low. The Elk looking to get back within 1 here as a power play continues. Back to the point. Off the skate now. Here's a chance in front. McElren's shot blocked on the way through. So McClellan getting the goal from McElren. So Cale McClellan getting the second goal. The assist going to David Elren. O'Connor for Stewart. Sends it all the way down. Moran's going to pressure. Munn and Moran battling down low. Moran looking for a call there as he thought he was getting held up by Munn. Stewart works to the far side. 50 seconds remaining here in the power play for the Elks. Duncan dumps it in. O'Connor's going to get it. Gload pressures. That's sent off the stick of Duncan down all the way as Duncan's going to have to go all the way down as Eklund going to leave it for him. Jaden Duncan for Gload. Far side pass. Toe drag McKellen. Down low, Munn. For King. For Munn. Centers off a skate. Now here's a chance in front. Puck loose. Gload trying to get one. Can't get it. Here's a shot from King. Fans on it. As now here's a chance. O'Connor back into the neutral zone. 4 seconds remain on the power play. 2-on-1. O'Connor. Backdoor. Too far. Out of the reach of Ito. Cycling. And a 5-on-5 hockey as Brill right out of the box. Going to get in on a forecheck. As Brill off to the bench now on a face-off. As Stewart will pick it up. Stewart over across the goal line down low. Pressured by Camo. That's Ben Stewart cycling down low field. Far side, Gload. Bringing it around. Hansen just trying to get a stick on it to try to chip it out. Can't do so. Off the side of the post is Camo. Chipping it off the glass into the neutral zone. Ellis bouncing over his stick. Cassie, shot out of a cannon, got a pressure. And we're inside a minute now remaining here in the second period. A decent crowd here on hand this evening on a Friday night game live in East Hants. There's the puck battle on the half wall. Diab will try to pressure. McCullum Stoke gets it on the far side. Inside a minute now. Curry picking it up on the wall. Working it in. Good pressure there by Jack McFarlane. Pressure's going to continue now. Half a minute remaining here in the second period. 4-2 lead for the Penguins. So that's worked in. Diab going to drop his shoulder shot just off the chest and just getting his nuff on it to keep it out of the top of the net. So that's worked right back into the neutral zone. Chip back, here's a chance. McFarlane, shot off the pad, glove save, that's held on to. As McFarlane had an opportunity on a 3-on-1. Shot in the door, Payson, Stewart. So whatever Chris Cassie had for supper tonight, I suggest he has that every night, as he has been on fire. 4 goals in the game, and he has been shot out of a cannon here tonight. Having himself a Friday night in East Hants. 3 seconds now on the clock. Shot there. Morrison wide. Over to the far side. Shot at the whistle and at the bell. And that'll do it for the second period of action here live on High Button Sports. We'll be back for third period of play after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons.
Welcome back for third period of action as we are underway inside the Keith Miller Arena here in East Hants, Nova Scotia. As that's sent in, that'll be held on to for a whistle. As during the intermission, you see there the first heater of the evening was flicked on, and trying to stay warm over to the right-hand side of me, the Penguins' parents and friends. Face off to the blocker side of Stewart. During the intermission, the Blue Jays took a 2-1 lead here as Ernie Clement drove in Alejandro Kirk. As back to hockey action as Gloade turns it over. King will pick it up though. He gets pressured, dumping it back in. Eidos. Field. He'll finish his check, and that's dumped back. Picked up O'Connor. Jake O'Connor works it to Eidos. Lets that go as Cassie's going to dump it in. Munn will go back, pressured by Field. Munn's going to pick it up behind his own net, work it up to the far side. Off the skate, Diab picks it up and back. D to D, Stewart. He's got an assist in the game. He'll dump it high. Glove down by Munn. D to D, here's King on the half wall. King, stretch pass. Curry gets a stick on it. Doesn't get gets too much of it. Slowed it down as Stewart will pick it up. Into the neutral zone, Bryce Stewart works it across the blue line. Stewart shot there off the stick of Duncan into the corner. Stewart with cycle for Curtin, doesn't connect as Croft picks it up. Curtin, good back check there. He turned it over and back into the neutral zone. Bryce Stewart. He'll got back as he's pressured by Croft for Pierce. As Pierce now thought about a stretch pass, and he almost turned it over as he double clutched himself there and picked up Diab out of the box. So all players out of the box here to start the third period of play. Curtin's going to pressure. D-to-D play there from Morrison as Curdy up the wall for Croft. He'll work it over the blue line. Croft's going to cut to the middle. Shot there goes off the backside of his own player going to the net, and here's an offside as Morin made one too many moves, and he made the move at the blue line, and offside there will be the call. Face-off's going to stay just outside the line as Cassie's going to hop over with Brill and McCullum Stokes. Chris Cassie, 4 goals on the game. All 4 goals for the Penguins so far as they lead 4-2. McClellan stretched out wide. Couldn't get it. Brill crossing over. Up in the air. McCullum Stokes looks high up in the air. As it's worked. McClellan out into the neutral zone. Cassie, far side, dumping it in there was Lawson. Isaac Lawson. Eklund out to play it. Ellis in the corner. Off the glass. Vanderberg sidesteps a check there and dumps it in. Brill in his feet. Loses it. Picks it back up. Good back check there by Brill. Now he works it back to the point. Lawson's shot tipped on. That goes just wide. As a good tip there by McCullum Stokes as he cuts out from the short side. Shot off the short side. Held in. Vandenberg takes a bump from McClellan. Down in. Here's Ellis in front of his own net. D-to-D right onto the stick of Casey, though, as Casey read that perfectly. Chris Casey having himself an absolute game as shot there. Rainbow up in the air. Bounces on now. Here's a wraparound attempt, and that's netted home. Off the bench and right in the action. Sanford, as Jacob Sanford gives the Penguins their 3-goal lead back, and they lead 5-3 on the only goal not scored by Chris Casey. And a nice wraparound by Jacob Sanford right off the bench into the action. Sanford picks up a loose puck, wraps it around, and Eklund diving across, couldn't get there in time. As he'll adjust his pads now in the crease, and that's why they delay up at center ice. He puts on his gloves and We are back ready for action here. So 16:52, a 3-goal lead for the Penguins, and the Elks looking to get back within striking distance. As a 3-goal lead's a little bit harder to come back from than a 2-goal lead in a period, as that puck worked very smooth passing, playing offside at the line. Says the official, not being able to hold up just enough was Thomas Ponapalis. Vandenberg gonna pick up an assist on that play, on a kind of a nothing play, chipped up high. A rainbow shot, just try to get it towards the net. And right off the bench, Sanford picks it up. Out of position was Cole Eklund. He was looking for it. And the butterfly is picked up and wrapped around over to the far side. So Vandenberg gonna get an assist on that. Is held in there, shot on net. Going down there was Stewart, but making the save in the same play. Pace and Stewart. Shots 25-23, still in favor of the Penguins. 16-16 remaining in the third period. 5-2 lead for the Penguins. As an offensive zone draw here for the Elks, as Glade, Stewart, Ben and Will both out there. As Duncan, as well with Morrison on the point here. You almost need one here in the next 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes. Work back from there. Kind of give yourself 5 minutes for each goal here in the last 16 minutes or so. As Stewart will pick it up, and he'll wheel it out himself. He's going to show his speed through the neutral zone. That's Ben Stewart going to try to cut to the middle. Glade trying to get to it. O'Connor chipping it in behind the net. Hansen will pick it up, working for Ponapalis. Now for Sanford, most recent goal scorer for the Penguins, will chip it in. King will get back to it. Sanford going to try to knock him off the puck. Stanford, as King turns it back. Ponapalis finishing his check. Stewart into the neutral zone here once again. Ben Stewart across the blue line. Camo is going to keep him to the outside. Glade off of his stick into the corner. Him and O'Connor battle, as now it's down low. That's Will Stewart off of in behind and off the skate and the net off of its pegs once again. So a stoppage of play here. 15-14 remaining in the third and final period. Unless the Elks can claw their way back. Down by 3 here. Still tons of time. So they have had some chances, but Pace and Stewart has been up for the task here this Friday night. Helps when your forward, one of your forwards can score 4 goals himself. Chris Casey, a 4-goal game this far. Chris Cassie, he works it back up to Field as he's going to drive down the far side. Cassie in, Cassie lets it go, and he finds it back, and he finds his way to the back of the net, and Chris Cassie has himself a 5th goal, I believe, as the puck found its way through the 5-hole. Goaltender Cole Eklund still down as Cassie slid into him. A power play coming for the Penguins, as we'll wait to see. Hopefully Cole Eklund is okay. He took a big crash into the net there from Chris Cassie, looking for his 5th. I thought he had it as it slid through the 5-hole. Official lost sight. As I saw it slide through, I could see it. He pulled it. He's just pulling it out of the net now. Bryson Curry. No goal, and that was off when the puck crossed the line as Casey slid into Eklund as he's still down. Part of the High Button Sports policy, we do not show injured players on our streams, so hopefully Eklund's moving down there now a little bit. So we'll be back after this short injury timeout here live on High Button Sports from the Keith Miller Arena in East Hants, Nova Scotia.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Eklund and up, and he'll have to be escorted off. I believe a knee injury, it looks like. Is he holding the knee up in the air, not putting a pressure on it? So Cole Eklund gonna head to the room with some assistance. Now in between the pipes, number 1, Bob Henderson. So Henderson's gonna get a little second to warm up between the twine. But late, well, not really late, 14:50 remaining on power play here for the Penguins, trying to isolate this game as Cole Eklund headed to the dressing room as Cassie crashed into him on a hooking call as he cut to the net. Morin bumps Duncan down low. Hansen trying to get it out. Worked back Camo at the point. D. Cassie back for Camo. Cassie will receive it, work it up top. Down the wall. Diab looking over an option. Mishandles it. Down for Hansen. Jason Hansen with a nice pass. Here's a shot, Camo right into the chest protector. Hansen with a beautiful backdoor pass in the second period. Looked like he had eyes in the back of his head as he fed it. Back door from almost in behind the net on like a wraparound opportunity kind of. As he worked it in behind the net and spun it from in behind the goal line. Sneaking in back door, connecting with Cassie. So that'll be now Camo for Cassie. Back for Camo. And Cassie. Shot there off the post. Cassie still in search of that 5th goal of the game. Hansen backdoor pass, and that goes off the defenseman and in. As Morrison tried to stop it. And Hansen is going to get his 2nd goal of the game. Or sorry, 2nd point of the game. So Jason Hansen with a power play goal off of the body of Morrison, trying to block the backdoor pass, and it found its way off of him and into the back of the net. A 6-2 lead here now for the Penguins. 14-11 remaining in the period and in the game. It's off the draw. Curtin looking for more. Pressuring Ellis. Picked up McKellern. McClellan through the middle now. Picked up on the far side. Worked over by Pohl. Pohl trying to go around. Worked around by Stewart. So Cassie's going to have his 5th point of the night as he got an assist. Curtin going to get to that first as icing still the call, as I thought Curtin had beat that out. As Curtin looked like, to me, he had the step on the defenseman and was going to get to that puck first. So a quick whistle as Brady Curtin broke away, trying to get to it first to take the icing off, but could not do so. And a face-off all the way back in the Penguin zone. One back. Good job there by Cullum Stokes. As it's centered. Stepping up, no icing. As it's sent back in. King up off the wall. One-handed. O'Connor keeping it in. Takes a bump from McKellern and dumped back in. King behind his own net. Works it over to the far side wing. Picked up into the slot. Heads up. Curtin sidestepped the hit from Ellis. As McCullum Stokes off the half wall takes a hit. McClellan gonna finish his check there. So it'll be worked in, trying to go through Camo. Good luck with that. Camo heads up, he ran the goalie, and now they're gonna go. Camo is gonna tussle down with him, and he ran the goalie, and we are gonna go. McClellan and Camo tussling down the ground as Camo in a headlock, and What a shot there. McClellan all the way up the ice and completely ran over goaltender Payson Stewart and Camo, and McClellan still going at it. An extra shot there. Curtin going to give him a shot. Curtin pushed out of it. Doesn't want to get the third man in. Curtin still giving it to him as McClellan's going to get taken off, as I'm sure he's going to be gone. I don't know what he was thinking, but McClellan just ran through, blew kisses to their bench, and that'll be it for him. He hits the showers here. 12:57 remaining in the third period. I'm sure they'll have some words there. The East Hants Penguins fan going to get into it down with McClellan down there, as the fans letting him have it on the way out. I don't know what went through his head there, but he absolutely ran through Payson Stewart, and the fans going to let him hear it on the way out, as I'm sure they're still going to have a conversation. The coach down there to send him to the bench, or to the showers. As what a series of events here, folks. That's a first for me. But we all caught it here live on High Button Sports. Camo in the box. I'm sure he'll just get the 2 for roughing. The gloves never came off, but what was he thinking? As I saw the match penalty there come out of the mouth of referee Evan Chasson. Chasson been around a long time. He's reffed me up through the years as a veteran ref in Chasson. Blanchard is the other one, Justin Blanchard, son of a longtime AUS official. As I believe a week ago today, his dad actually did the Penguins game here in East Hants. So a 5-minute power play for the Penguins, and not what the Elks wanted. Down by 4 with 12 minutes and 57 seconds remaining. McClellan's going to hit the showers in a 5-minute power play, which will not stop, and they will not get the man back even if the Penguins score, as O'Connor back to the point. D to D. Cassie has 5 points. Here's a chance. Morant, fans on the shot. Off of his skates. Picked up, dumped down. Good job to send it out. Was Ben Pohl, as it's good to see Payson Stewart still in the net after taking that big hit. He got right up. He was a little shaken up, but bounced right back up. Out to play it. O'Connor for Cassie. He'll cut back. Cassie's got 5 points in the game. 4 goals, 1 assist. Diab walks in, fans on a shot there. He had a great opportunity in front in the high slot. Back for the point, O'Connor. As Camo in the box for the Penguins. Captain Noah Camo standing up for his goaltender instantly after that as he wrestled down his man, and O'Connor will set up and behind the net. Will Stewart will pressure Ben now as Curtin runs him over. As Curtin going to get right back into it. Over the line. Worked in. Palace for Sanford. Shot into the chest and held on for a whistle by Bob Henderson. His first save of the game as he get into the game here. As I believe maybe the running of the goaltender could have had to be could have maybe been a response to Cassie going into the goaltender, but Cassie was driving the net and got hooked down by the Elks defenseman. So in the end, it was the Elks defenseman's fault. And taking exception, McClellan went down and ran over Payson Stewart. He had a match. I'm going to say 5 minutes for goaltender interference is field now. Back for Stewart. Bryce Stewart works it for Curtin. Back for Stewart. Toe drag shot wide off the glass. Centering. Can't connect. Now picked up. Stewart. He picked up by Ben Stewart across the line. On his backhand. Cutting back. Looking for an option. He has Will Stewart out with him. He'll go all the way back for Curry. Curry's going to have to play some defense now. As the Elks short behind the forwards. Now here's a chance trying to center in front. Can't connect there. Back down low. Stewart takes a bump from Sanford. Sanford pressuring Stewart. Stewart's going to pin it on the wall. Sanford's going to get in there, try to kick it out. Stanford, good job there by him to work it loose. Picked up here, Stewart. Still 2.5 minutes remaining here on the 5-minute goaltender interference call. As Field cutting gets taken off the puck and sent down full length. Field and Curry having a couple words. All smiles, it seems like, between those two, maybe former teammates, as O'Connor's going to wheel it up. Dish it wide, Morin. Across the line, back pass there. Diab once again for O'Connor. O'Connor for Diab. Down low, into his feet, looking for it. Now back for O'Connor. He'll walk the line for Cassie, for O'Connor. Diab shot, blocked. Curry, rebound loose, in behind, and Cassie nets it home. Chris Cassie with 6 points tonight, and here's going to be some more rough stuff. Cassie's had enough as he put in a headlock right after, and Cassie's going to mix it up after the goal. As some more are going to go at it. Curry's going to get in there. Hansen will pull him away. As we'll wait to see who it is, but Chris Cassie with his 5th goal in the game. And will that be it for him? Cassie, 6 goals, gives a let's go baby on the way out. And Chris Cassie, that'll do it for him tonight. 6 points and a fight. So a Gordie Howe hat trick for Chris Cassie here, and the fans are going to let him have it as Glowad's going to get some words from the young fans down there on the way off. So Glowad, he'll get sent off to the box, and a melee down in front of the net. So some rough stuff here, I'm sure, will continue. Still 9:41 remaining as Cassie nets his 5th goal of the game, his 6th point of the game. So he's had 5 goals, 1 assist in a fight. As Cassie's going to hit the showers here with 9:41 remaining. 1 minute and 41 seconds are still on the power play. As I believe it'll just remain 5-on-4. A power play as Camo now out of the box. Some intense times here inside the Keith Miller Arena. As McCollum Stokes will dig in. As it's back, gonna control it, so a 7-2 lead here now. Worked up, Brill's gonna go to the net. Back for Camo, he's gonna walk it right down Main Street. Camo shot, rebound loose, kicked away to the side. McCollum Stokes stepping in, Camo gonna glove it down to his stick. Camo shot into the glove and held on to by Henderson. Good job there by Bob Henderson. Couple chances in the high slot for Noah Camo. Missed the first period of action, got right into it. First shift, 3-on-1, and then he had an assist shortly after that. A big hit as well. Camo back for O'Connor. O'Connor's going to shoot off the end of the stick and out of play as the rebound went right off the net. The mesh off the back of the net, or I guess the top of the net, and back trying to bat it home in front was Brill. Face off, going to stay inside. 1:09 remaining on the power play. King reverses. Clearing attempt off the skate of McCollum Stokes. Back for Camo. He'll take the middle of the ice. Camo's shot. Blocker save. O'Connor's shot off the end of the side of the post. O'Connor gets tangled up down low. O'Connor back for Camo. He'll walk the line. Camo got to be careful. He teetered across. Back from McCollum Stokes. Shot there, fend on. Off the skate into the corner. Munn. He'll go high off the glass. Up into the neutral zone. Glove down. McCollum Stokes for Camo. Noah Camo on the far side. Gonna fake a reverse pass there and keep it going. Camo across the line. Camo back to his forehand out wide. Gonna set up. Camo backdoor for Diab. Too far. Can't connect, and that's worked out. Ben Pohl knocked off there by Diab, but he'll control it now. Centering pass, doesn't connect. O'Connor breaks it up. Morin for O'Connor. Doesn't handle it. Centers right onto the stick of Diab and kicked by Curtin. 10-minute misconduct. So a 2 and a 10 as they hit the showers early. So not a fight, a 2 and a 10. So they'll be back for next game as that's sent down. But I do not think McClellan will be returning in the next few games. Face-off will be sent back in. Far side, chipping it out into the neutral zone under the skate of Pierce. Now here's a 2-on-1. The Elks shot there. Right into the chest, and that'll be held on for a whistle. As Diab's going to take one. As he goes off to the box. Diab had to be careful there. I thought that could have been a spearing call. He got his stick right up into the midsection of Ben Pole. A little shaken up there. He'll stay on for a power play here. 7-2 lead for the Penguins. Puck one back to the point. D to D, Duncan to King. King loses it. Thomas Pontapalis pressuring on the far side. He sends it all the way down. So Finley Diab's going to sit in the box for 2 minutes or less as the Elk on the power play here. Dumped in, sent down, all the way back into the neutral zone. Good job to clear that. Payson Stewart, I'm sure he was like, I'm just going to get rid of that after what happened earlier in this period. Not going to hold on to it too long here in this intense game between the Elks and the Penguins. As that's turned over in the line, Stamford dumps it out. Good job there by Jacob Samford. So he'll peel off for a change. Moran will hop on for him. Heads up, Pierce drops his man on the far side. A delayed call. We'll see if any more things are going to go on as Pierce stepped up and absolutely lit up. We forward on the far side. And what a hit by Pierce. He'll get 2 for boarding. Chris Pierce. Sorry, Connor Pierce with an absolute thunderous hit on the far side. A 2 for boarding call, though. Just that awkward distance. Clean hit, other than the fact that it was just that awkward distance away from the boards and the player went in awkwardly, so official must call it. Stewart's going to crash the net. I'm sure we're not done with the antics here. 5-on-3 for the Elks. Stewart, and McClellan. That's Jacob McClellan, not Cale McClellan. Cale McClellan was sent to the room. 5 minutes for goaltender interference. Munn works it to the wall. Battle in front, continuing there between McClellan and Lawson. He goes down. Lawson out to block it. Battling with Munn now. McClellan back to the point. Here's Stewart. Stewart's going to walk in. Leave it to the point there. Here's Morrison. Down for Stewart. Back to the point. Munn. Going to walk in. Kick it wide. Stewart shot high and wide, and Stewart stands up his man and stands over him for a second. As Will Stewart stood up his man. And the rough stuff still continuing after the whistle. Isaac Lawson having a couple words. Stepping up there to try to deliver the hit was Daniel Vandenberg. Vandenberg has an assist in this game. As Smith will have a couple words, I'm sure, for the Penguins on the way off. But Stewart saw him coming and stood him up. Vandenberg, no name bar, so a potential call up for the Penguins as he nets an apple in this gun. 5-on-3 continues here for another 27 seconds. Eidos pushing it forward and clearing it all the way down. Good job there by Nick Eidos off the draw. Good job holding up at the line there. O'Connor dumping it in. Far side high up in the air, making sure it gets all the way in. It'll be picked up. Munn poked off of his stick. Back for Duncan. Pressured. Back for Munn. Too many moves. Sanford picks it off. Sanford around one. Stanford on Croft down low, and that'll be held on to once again by Henderson. .5:02 remaining here in the third period. 34-25. The shot still in favor of the Penguins. Face off. One back. O'Connor. Shot. Still 30 seconds remaining in the power play for the Elk, and the net's off. And we'll do it over again once. There's a good chance in front for Sanford. He put it off the crossbar. Net comes off its bearings once again. Face off, going to be one back. O'Connor. Shot there, trying to get a stick on it. Sanford, good job there to control it, pick it up, and take his time. Duncan, it's Jaden Duncan down the far side. Duncan in over the front of the puck and offside. 7-2 the score here. 4:38 remaining in the period, and in the game, 7-2 still for the Penguins. Face off outside the Penguin zone. Pitts will dig in. He wins it back. Far side, McVicker. Works across for Ellis. He gets it back off the skate of McVicker and picked up Camo. As McVicker's going to get it on the forecheck. O'Connor looking for an option. Centers. Here's Hansen. Jason Hansen grew up playing his minor hockey through the Bedford Blues organization. That's Ponapalus trying to work it in. O'Connor stepping up. Looking for it there. Ponapalus trying to get it. As O'Connor now out of the pile with it. High slot. Spinning shot. That goes down low. Hansen centers off the skate. Couple skates and cleared back. Camo bounces over his stick back in the neutral zone. Camo, ranging long defenseman. As that's worked in. Sanford cutting back, trying to look for an option. Finds Camo off a skate. Camo looking for a tip. Trying to bang that home. Is it still loose? Back O'Connor. Gets at the point. O'Connor, and that'll do it. As a stoppage of play here. Net off its bearings. As Ellis with a stick of Ponapalus in between his legs. Crowd's drawing, it seems like, after every whistle. Here a 7-2 lead. I'm sure the frustration for the Elks here on this Friday night starting to, well, it did boil over, that's for sure. As the face-off going to stay inside the zone. Net off. So 5 goals, 1 assist. 2 minutes for slashing. And 2 minutes for roughing. And a 10-minute misconduct. That is the stat line for Chris Cassie tonight here, folks, is doing it a little bit of all. 5 goals, 1 assist, and about 14 minutes in penalties. Plays a hard game, but can put the puck in the net. Brill buries that one home on a nice feed. Spinning in front, McCullum Stokes on a nice pass, and Brill will make it 8-2. Brill on a one-timer. Makes it 8-2, and he throws the monkey off the back. That'll be his first goal. His congratulations there, Chris Brill. Gonna keep that puck on a great feed from McCullum Stokes. Spinning behind the back, probably almost out of the corner. And Brill walked into that one-timer and let her fly. Up over the glove hand side of Henderson, and nothing Henderson could do. Here's McCullum Stokes with Brill once again. Trying to work it across to Brill, looking for 2 in under 10 seconds there. Icing going to be the call. Face-off going to go all the way back down into the Elk zone. 2:52 remaining. as Rattlin-Bog plays over the PA system here. Field will dig in. Shot there, sticked away by Henderson. Stewart stepping up. That puck pushed past him. Good read there. Here's McClellan. Knocked off his stick by Pierce. So Brill from McCallum-Stokes. The official call as Munn will go back for it now. Munn move around one into the neutral zone. Munn gonna pick it up over in the offensive zone. Shot. Pad save. Vandenberg clears it under the neutral zone. Morrison D-to-D dumped in. Vandenberg takes a bump from Stewart in the corner. Clears it on the attempt there as it goes back. Here's Duncan. Minute 50 remaining here in the period. Payson Stewart out, no icing. Reverse play there, Lawson. Takes an awkward bump there into the wall. Flipping it up into the air, Hansen looking for it. Takes a bump from Stewart. Back into the offensive zone. Ito shot there. Good job. Still sacrificing the body was Duncan. Picked up here. Stewart trying to center. Connects there through the neutral zone. McVicker shot. Up the wall. Stewart looking for it. Stewart works it back for Ellis. Up for Duncan. Duncan down. Shot. Far side. Past the blocker of Payson Stewart. Fend on that. That was Will Stewart trying to get a shot away. Stewart off the pad. Held on for a whistle. As Ben and Will hanging around the net here. 57 seconds remaining. Just making sure they have their last few words here in this game as an 8-2 lead here for the Penguins. So with 57 seconds now remaining in the period, that puck worked out. Here's a 3-on-2 chance. Brill will pick it up with speed. Brill, he'll go down and slide into the post himself, and that'll knock it off its bearings once again. Chris Brill looking for another one. 46 seconds now remaining. Faceoff's going to stay inside. Chris Brill knocked down on the way, driving the net. Knocked into the goaltender. Nothing like the first run-in. Cassie ran into the goalie, driving the net. But nothing like that here in the late goings of that. Camo shot off the skate. Curry works it up the wall as he gets it back. Nice touch play there. Worked into the neutral zone. Bryson Curry gets it poked off his stick at the blue line. Brill will work it out for Brady Curtin. Curtin pulling it through the legs. Rebound. So pulled it through the legs and let the shot go through the legs of Munn, and rebound picked up. Turned over. Curtin, good back check there. Curtin playing right to that final whistle. He works it for Brill as he gets it back now. 14 seconds remaining. Curtin shot. Paddled away. Curry will get it in the corner. Curry sauce pass through the middle, off the stick. Now here's a chance back the other way. Croft, shot short side wide. 2 seconds remaining in the game, and that'll do it here. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports in this Nova Scotia Junior Hockey League action. I'm Logan Carruthers, live from the East Hants Sportsplex Keith Miller Arena. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you later. Have a good one, folks.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap